Welcome in once again to a new episode, Week 9, Sunday morning quarterbacks. I'm Sosa the Locksmith. That's Spin Doc Sports right next to me. Our boy Rex, shout out to him. Our condolences on a rough ending to two Philadelphia sports teams. He is completely excused for not coming in today. We completely understand. It was a rough night for Philadelphia sports fans last night as the Philadelphia Union lost in PKs after giving up a goal in like the 180th fucking minute. Just a rough night.
That was one of the best soccer matches I've ever seen across any league, and that's saying something because it happened in America.
And Philly, like I said, just Philly lost the World Series last night. Very, 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 sad situation. Just a rough night for Philadelphia sports. I'm not a Philly sports fan. I'm a Sixers fan. That's the only team in Philadelphia that I support. We are obviously, I'm not here to talk any shit. Just hope to see and get our boy Rex back next week, and he'll be back with Daily Bread tomorrow. Don't get it twisted. He's not gone for any extended period of time. But whenever your team loses, you do get you get a shot to just take the day off. I get it, and I respect it. But I do want to get into today's NFL slate. Last week gave out a lot of winners. Anybody that joined us gave out some very, very good plays as well. Any thoughts before we get into this NFL slate or anything of the sort? Anything else you want to add?
Yeah, I mean, from a fantasy perspective, feel free. Anybody who's in here, ask your fantasy questions. I know it's the heaviest bye week, guys that mean the most to your fantasy team, and also 6 teams are on bye this week. So there's a lot of kind of mixing and matching. Also, the injury report is one of the biggest ones I've ever seen. So, we should have a lot to talk about.
Yes, sir. Hold on. I just want to get into. We'll get into the first matchup where we don't have any analysts, so that me and you can just break it down.
Yep.
I think the first game I want to get into is the Minnesota-Washington game. Obviously, we got a Washington team that looks to have found its way, reeling off some wins here. They look to be getting Chase Young back soon. I see he returned to practice. I don't think he's going to go today, but to see him back and to see this team trending in the right direction. Obviously, you're from Minnesota. You're very familiar with this Minnesota team and where they've come as far as this season has entailed. I think everyone expected you guys to be better given some of the circumstances from last year in one possession games that you couldn't get done at the very end. And the defense has performed at a much higher rate this year as well. So what are your thoughts on this matchup? I don't have too much in regards to either team, obviously, but I do believe you should have some DFS spots for this one, I'm sure.
For sure. Yep, I do. So it is a 1 p.m. game and not prime time and not against a marquee opponent for Kirk Cousins. So that would mean all Kirk Cousins spots are open and available because these are the games he performs well in. But no, there's a level of excitement up here. I think that a lot of people did expect him to kind of be maybe in the 4-2-ish kind of range, somewhere in that, maybe a couple games over 500. 6-1 though was not, I think, on a lot of people's minds. So credit to O'Connell and the new staff. But yeah, from a betting perspective, so right now this one opened up as a pick'em actually, and there's a heavy amount of action on the Commanders from a monetary perspective. 79% of the bets so far, which pushed it to a plus. Which actually, while that's happened, the Commanders have actually gone down to a +3. So that would lead me to indicate that Vikings -3 is the spot here. It's not something I'm actively going to bet, but the DFS spots that I do have, I think if you're in a tournament for this week, or if you're in a larger pool, you can very, very easily take Dalvin Cook as one of your running backs. So Cook is pretty pricey this week, but he's only projected for about 3% ownership. The reason why is because Washington's defense ranks top 10 in points allowed to running backs. However, Cook has gotten 33 carries, and 7 targets over the last 2 games. So The Washington pass defense, which is a reason why I think the Vikings have a chance to cover here, is just abysmally bad. They're 26th in points allowed to wide receivers. They have had multiple receivers go over 100 yards against them. So I think that the Vikings offense would be able to move the ball well enough so that it would set up for a Dalvin touchdown or two. The other one, obviously, the obvious choice for DFS would be Justin Jefferson. He is top 7 in targets, catches, and yards. And again, the Washington pass defense, multiple receivers to go over 100 yards. I would not be surprised if Jefferson goes over 100 yards. I wouldn't be surprised if he scores. I actually wouldn't be that surprised if he scores twice.
Hey man, I'm right there with you. I love the matchup for Jefferson. Again, I'm not going to dog the Washington team. Again, I do think that this Washington team is very talented. They seem to have found their footing. So I would not be surprised if they performed well today. That would really be my only real take in regards to this one. But yeah, let's move on to the next one. The super exciting Carolina Panthers going up against the Jamar Chase-less Cincinnati Bengals. We saw them on Monday night. Offense kind of sputtered, was unable to really get anything going throughout the sequence of the game that when it was competitive to any point. Now they get to play a Carolina team that lost an absolute heartbreaker last week to Atlanta. One of the wildest endings to a football game that you're going to see with the DJ Moore helmet and then the missed kicks and all that other bullshit. For me, I like Deontay Foreman in the game as far as being able to perform at a pretty high level. I'm taking him to score a touchdown. He's taking the reins, obviously, for the run game. Chuba Hubbard's hurt, so he's going to be the feature guy. I think he's going to get all the carries. And yeah, I think Deontay Foreman to score a touchdown will be my only look in this one. I think that the Bengals are going to perform better because this Carolina team has no belief in actually trying to win. Yeah, that's where I'm at with it. I personally believe that that Carolina they get smoked, to be totally honest.
Yeah, this could turn ugly real quick here. I think that from a DFS perspective and from a fantasy perspective, you can start multiple pieces of the Cincinnati passing game. T. Higgins for sure. Tyler Boyd is getting a lot more looks with Chase out. And, I think that you can use Joe Mixon in fantasy. I don't know if I would play him in DFS because he's not getting the rushing volume. And Carolina's run defense is actually top half. However, their coverage against wide receivers, not so much, bottom third. So I think that that's a pretty easy DFS stack. Also at home so far this year, Burrow in 3 home games has thrown for 338, 287, and 481 yards, 2+ touchdowns in each. So Joe Burrow, 2+ touchdown passes is a pretty easy play for me.
Hey, I'm right again. I love that, man. Like I said, you know every single angle in regards to this particular team. Again, the Bengals have to do something about defenses going in too high against them. When they go to too high, you have to be able to run the ball. You have to be able to understand the underneath passing game. I don't feel like Zach Taylor has done a good job of deploying his players the right way. And I know it's like easy to get on the internet and come at Cincinnati Bengals fans who are saying, T. Higgins is a number one. Listen, T. Higgins is a very talented player. And I think that he can be deployed correctly as a number one receiver. We didn't see that last week. We didn't see that him being deployed correctly. All the back shoulder stuff that you get on third down from Chase was out of the picture. And the only time we saw Jamar Chase really get anything, or not Jamar Chase, T. Higgins really get anything going is after the other team was playing, a level of prevent defense to just get out of the game with a win. The Bengals had no chance of coming back in that game. So do I think Higgins is a number one? Fuck no. But do I think that he can be effective? Can he be effective if the coaching staff actually deploys him correctly? Absolutely. And everybody would love to see the Carolina Panthers on their schedule leading up to anything because they stink. And also last week's game against Atlanta makes me feel like they are tanking. To be totally honest, yeah. I don't like that. there's no reason. The two kicks that kicker missed were absolutely egregious. So
it's 35% chance to win the division. That's how bad our division is. But yeah.
Right. So we're waiting on KD. I don't know where the hell he is. He's the first person to respond last night. And now he's not popping up. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go straight to that game. Or no, hold on. We got one more game to cover before we go to anybody. It's Miami, Chicago. Obviously, no one has Miami, Chicago. That's why I left that comment up. Absolutely.
Yeah. Oh, DJ Moore or Terry McLaurin. If it is a PPR, I would probably go Terry McLaurin. If not, I would go DJ Moore. And then what can you tell me about Jeff Wilson? What can you tell me about Jeff Wilson? I wouldn't use him just yet. I would probably keep him on your bench and probably not bet any of his props for at least 2 weeks while he gets reacclimated with his new team.
I say start him today. I have no problem with that. Jeff Wilson has Jeff Wilson and this is just me. Jeff Wilson and Raheem Mostert have the best understanding of that offense. That's why they got rid of Chase Edmonds so quickly after paying him, by the way. Think about that. Teams don't just trade players. Hey, McDaniel saw this guy doesn't fit the offense at all. Jeff Wilson is his own runner. He understands the concepts of the run game. He's a perfect fit as far as knowing how to do the zone running stuff. If he's in uniform, I have no problem firing him up, especially if it's going to be him and Mostert, because he's a better pass catcher than Mostert. So I don't think any learning curve whatsoever for this offense. I don't think any running back has a better grasp of it than Jeff Wilson. If we're talking, he knows no other offense he's ever been successful in outside of this one. So I have I think they made the move for Jeff. And also shout out to the front office of the San Francisco 49ers, turning an undrafted free agent to a 5th round pick without ever having to give him $1. I love it. So yeah, I just think, again, Chase Edmonds, nothing more than a glorified slot receiver, was not a running back, did not fit any of the in between the tackle stuff that McDaniel wanted to do. And that's why they let him walk. He's a much better fit for what they want to do with what they're going to want to do with him in Denver, as far as being the pass catcher and the slot guy and giving them another underneath receiver, because that's what they lost with Javonte. So I think that it's a move that immediately works just fine with for Jeff Wilson. That's just my take on that one.
No doubt.
And also, you got to give a shout out to the Chicago Bears. I mean, we're very critical of the organization because we've seen them do a bunch of stupid shit over the last couple of years. I think if you're a Bears fan, you understand the direction that the organization is moving in. It seems to be a positive situation, right? They understood that they had to get some contracts off the books. They had to free up money because of decisions made by the prior regime that was in control of the Chicago Bears, right? They have their quarterback in place, and they've now done exactly what the Eagles have done, which is structure an offense to fit the quarterback that you have under center. It's no longer trying to fit a square peg into a circle. It's no longer the case.
Yep.
So, is Sam here for the Bengals or the matter of fact, he's here for either one. We're just gonna let him talk.
All right.
Because, first of all, we saw him with the suit yesterday on Paid for Play.
Oh yes.
You know what I'm saying? He
must be on cloud nine, man.
A little scared on Paid for Play to go money line, but I think I talked him into it. I'm gonna actually bring him up really quickly just to get some of his thoughts on the Bengals game. I know he has some bets for it. I mean, and also I have to let him speak because you'll see his hat and understand why. So let me bring in our boy Sam Murphy, Dumb Brain Picks, the man.
Yep, there it is.
Look at him. What's the deal, bro?
Dog, we are hurting this morning. That extra hour of partying really helped out.
But you made it.
Yeah, man. I thought about sitting out on the patio smoking a cigar, but all I had was a Black and Mild, so I wasn't going to be doing that. But yeah, I'll share some picks for the Bengals game. I'm on cloud nine. It's a winning weekend for me, so I did take LSU money line. We had a great night. We had dog shit picks other than that, but somehow I ended up plus 2.9 units yesterday. So there we go.
There it is, man. It pays to tune in to Paid for Play every Saturday morning.
Every Saturday.
Make sure y'all check that out. But what you got for us, bro? I'm gonna change the ticker back real quick just so we can get your plays, because I appreciate you even mustering up the strength to pull up this morning. So have at it. Tell us what we're on. Tell us what you're on in the game, and let's get to it.
Absolutely. Bengals are the defense is just so hurt right now. And I think Carolina is going to be able to give up points in this game also. So give me the over 42.5. The cornerback situation for the Bengals is just awful. I think they're down to like a rookie and fourth stringer starting in this one. So I do like Terrace Marshall. I think 50-plus receiving yards. I think P.J. Walker targeted him a lot last week. I think they're trying to get him more involved in the Carolina offense. And I like Joe Burrow anytime touchdown plus 500.
Ooh, you like him for a rusher?
Yeah.
Touchdown. I like that.
I mean, he's got to pretty much do everything himself this week. So times are tough in Cincy, but we're living large right now.
Hey, man, I love it. Again, appreciate you joining us, man. Shout out to Brian Kelly. Shout out to your squad. Extremely excited to see what goes on here coming up the next few weeks. Obviously,
this is a bad year too. This is supposed to be a bad year.
That's what we were talking about on Spaces right after the game. Like, this is supposed to be the bad LSU team.
Yeah, dude.
If this is the bad one, then
SEC's on notice right now.
We're gonna have World War III the next couple of years coming here, and I'm very, very much I'm excited for it. But again, make sure y'all are tapped in with my boy Dumb Brain Picks.
So I do have one question. I figured if I asked you on stream, I have a better chance of you saying yes. Is Dumb Brain Media or Daily Bread Media sending Roddy and me to Atlanta for the SC Championship game?
Sure. Let's figure that out. I mean, tickets might not be that bad. You know what I mean?
No, it'll be a lot of Georgia fans.
If it is you too, then yeah, we'll definitely figure that out. I might go too. It's in the budget. I'm not gonna lie. It's definitely.
All right. So let's do it.
You can definitely make that happen. I'm waiting for Spin. I like his camera's not showing, so I can't add him back to the stream yet. But make sure you guys are tapped in with my boy Dumb Brain Picks. Every single week he's locked in for Paid for Play, and yeah,
basketball season's coming up too, so we'll be going more and more. So I know Sosa's the king of college basketball. NBA,
no, that NBA, yes, college basketball. That's Rex. I want no parts of college ball at all. Y'all got that. I'm good. College basketball, that's all Rex, bro. I ain't the one. Not with that.
Rexy must be down bad today. That sucks.
Hey, listen, man. He's in our thoughts.
He's in my thoughts as well. I felt bad. I felt bad being so positive in the group chat last night.
Hey, man, I sent him a text at like midnight, and I was just like, "At least you got the Birds.
Yeah.
At least you got the Eagles, bro. That's all I can go with." Again, appreciate you, Sam. We'll get with you on Saturday. We'll holler at you. And I'm back by myself. I actually hate being by myself on any form of thing because I'm just so handsome. I don't like people hating. It's just not necessary. Plus, who wants to just see me by myself? Where the fuck is Spin? Anyway, we're gonna get into the Vegas-Jacksonville game. That's the next one. We're gonna do Vegas. We're gonna go Vegas-Jacksonville. Our boy Goose is here. Obviously, he gonna have to be honest about Trevor Lawrence stinking it the fuck up the last couple of weeks. Been fucking horrible, absolutely horrendous, terrible decision making. He's looking like a fucking college quarterback out there. I'm gonna say it before he says it because he's gonna sound more negative. I mean, I don't want Goose to sound negative. He already had to watch the Rutgers Scarlet Knights get put on the hub last night. So we love him here. He's one of our favorite analysts. What's up, my dog? How are you today? How you feeling? You good?
Bro, Rutgers won the first half.
That's why I love you, man. That's why we love you. Positivity is so important. It's so important.
I'm chilling there up 17-14 at halftime. I was thinking we're going to like the Rose Bowl or something. So what that they scored in the second half? I got my cheers in. No, I mean Calvin Ridley season next year. So the Jags gonna be all right. That's gonna be his Stephon Diggs to Josh Allen or whatever. Look, it's the turnovers are bad right now. We're tanking. We're getting one more pass rusher, and we're gonna be all right. But like that's the off-season talk. I'm excited about this game. I went right to the player props because I can't really bet on the Jags, and I don't want to fade the Jags. Evan Ingram's receiving line's at 39.5. He hit that in 4 straight games. If he's over 44 straight games, I guess I got to ride the wagon. Evan Ingram against this Vegas pass defense, give me that. I'm also liking the under because the Jaguars got this cornerback, Tyson Campbell, second year out of Georgia. He's starting to play pretty well. Like, he's not going to shut down Devontae Adams by any means, but I don't think Adams is going to go like off on him. Adams not going to have 100 yards on him. So you limit Devontae Adams. You got a good run defense, and the Jaguars can't score in the red zone. Give me the under 47.5 for that. So that's really where my head is at. I'm already looking at the off season. It's mock draft season for me. I need 3 quarterbacks to go in the first 3 picks. So Will Anderson or Carter from Georgia can be on the Jags D-line next year. Big time.
Hey, KD dropped the ball. He was the first person to respond in the group chat last night about coming on. Spin, your connection is cooked right now. We can't hear you at all. Your connection is completely cooked.
Is it choppy?
No, I can hear you. I think I can hear you. I think you're good. Go ahead. You're good.
Let's say a couple things with Evan Ingram here. So to go along with what Goose was saying, Ingram has 20 yards over 4 weeks, and target share is tied for the lead, and it ranks 3rd among every tight end in the NFL. He's also ranks 3rd in expected PPR points over the last 4 weeks. So the Raiders, 24th ranked against tight ends, and they've allowed, I think, 2 tight ends that they faced to reach 40-plus yards. Play all the format.
Yeah.
All the way.
Your connection is choppy, super bad right now. Let's try to leave and come back, guy, because it like you're completely choppy. Sorry, I know people are definitely wanting this information. So drop back out and come back and we'll try one more time. I think he was obviously co-signing the Evan Ingram play. I agree. I agree with what Chuck said too. I think Evan Ingram has a good chance to catch the end zone. People can hear you, but the video is bad. So let's get to that. And yeah, my bad, Jose. Like I said, I don't know what's up with our boy KD. He just decided to not show up today.
I was excited too because like people are making a big deal that Darren Waller's not going to play. Like, he's not even the best tight end in the game. Evan Ingram's putting on. Darren Waller, now that he's got some weapons on his team, like, dude's a shell. Evan Ingram's turning into that. What was he, a first-round pick for the Giants? He's starting to be that dude.
He ain't lying. I wouldn't say that dude. I think that he's finding his way. I think he's finding his way as a pro. I mean, obviously, situations that you get put in, the expectations are lofty when you're a first round pick, like you said, or when you get drafted high. And he's obviously found his way on a team now where the expectations are low, and he's playing for a contract. So I respect both sides of it. I think that him and Trevor long term are a very good fit together. So yeah, I appreciate you as always. As far as the other side of the coin, when it comes to this Raider team, there's nothing that gives me any form of positivity towards them. I do think that the Raiders win today. I also don't agree with what you just said in regards to Devontae. I think Devontae has a good game. He was under the weather. Under the weather last week. I mean, I saw Tyson Campbell get barbecued by KJ Hamler last week on a one-on-one on first down when he was playing 10 yards off him. So I don't know where you're getting the Tyson Campbell love. He's fast, but he's not. He's average to below average in my opinion. But like I said, I like the Raiders to put up some points. I'm not picking them as a winner simply because they burnt me 3 times this fucking year. So any team that's burned me 3 times in 4 fucking weeks, I'm good.
If you're watching this game, you got issues.
They're not getting my fucking money. What they did against the New Orleans Saints was absolutely egregiously bad, garbage, fucking horrendously terrible. So that's my take on it. I think we get points from both teams. I don't think either team's defense is any good. So that's where I look at. And then also, someone mentioned earlier that they didn't travel, right? That Vegas did not travel. I was talking about that. They went straight from New Orleans to Florida. I think that this week, that actually helps them as far as preparation and their bodies being, readily available to play. So that's just my take on it. Again, appreciate you joining, and we're gonna get into the next game. Make sure you guys follow Kowal's Corner, aka our boy
Culture Changers, Rutgers basketball. Can't wait. Our real season starts on Monday.
The future mayor of Rahway, New Jersey. Appreciate you as always, my boy. And here I am once again by my fucking self. Look at this. Look at this. We're going to bring in one of our analysts, our boy, Finesse the Books. We're talking Buffalo versus the Jets. I know a lot of people believe in this Jets team. You shouldn't. The quarterback fucking stinks. The defense is pretty good. Best offensive player got hurt in Breece Hall. I just think that someone called the Dolphins fool's gold. And what's funny to me is that he was a Jets fan that said that. So I don't quite understand where we're going with that, but sure. I have no takeaways for anything from a betting side of the Jets. I wouldn't bet on anyone from the Jets team with your fucking money. Not after, no. Sorry. Breece Hall would have been it. He'd have been the show. Let's bring in our boy Finesse the Books. What's up, my guy? You've been following the Buffalo Bills for us throughout the season. Been a great year for them. They look like gangbusters. They look like the real deal. What we gonna see today?
Yeah, first of all, appreciate you having me again. I missed last week, so I apologize for that. But we back to it, like always, grinding and shit. So I'm happy to be here. Always happy to chop it up with you.
It's all good. I don't like talking about Josh Allen anyway, so it's great.
That's a fact. That's a fact. Right. I'm kind of with you. There in terms of a betting standpoint. Not much to love. I looked, right. Obviously, I know this is coming up. Things like that. I definitely looked, try to not come empty-handed for this specific game, but unfortunately, that's the case. I think the Bills are going to win the game. Obviously, like you said, lost their best offensive player. Zach Wilson is trash. I looked like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, his QBR under pressure was 3. It was 3 under pressure. So,
and just for reference, what's that from a scale of?
That's from a scale of 0 to 100. The man was a 3, right? So, yeah. So they're not going to be able to run the ball. 11 or whatever it is now, 10.5. I think that's a lofty number. We just saw them absolutely put it on the Packers in the first half, and then just coast the second half and not cover the spread for some bettors who locked in that 10.5. So not interested in the spread, not interested in really anything from this game. Bills are going to win, obviously. Just there's levels to the shit, and they're by far the superior team. I did not come completely empty-handed though, so not necessarily a Bills pick, but I didn't want to come in and give you guys absolutely nothing like a dick. So I do have something. I'm on Scary Terry today. I think it's a great spot for him. Terry McLaurin over 66.5 receiving yards. I got that at minus 115 on BetMGM. I'll tell you guys why, kind of take you through what I was looking at. So Terry has covered this line in 5 or 7 games. He's averaging almost 5.5 receptions, nearly 88 yards, reception yards per game. He's also covered this line in 3 straight home games, so like the cover right there. He's Heineke's guy. With Heineke at the helm, Terry's been the definitive number 1 receiver, and that's continued this year. Last 2 weeks since Heineke took over, 24% target share, 26% target share. Heineke started all 17 games last year. Terry owned a 24% target share in those games, which was more than double any Washington skill receiver. So love that. Terry tallied 4+ receptions in 12 of those games, and has covered his reception yards line in all 5 games this year with 4 receptions. So just from a volume standpoint, I think he's going to get 4 or 5 grabs. I think that's plenty to cover this number. And then Minnesota's defense, there's a lot to be desired on that side of the ball. They're allowing the 4th most passing yards, 7th highest yards per completion, the 5th highest yards per play. They're 24th in pass defense DVOA over the last 4 weeks. Absolutely terrible. They allow the 4th most receiving yards to wide receivers, and especially bad versus number ones. They're ranked dead last in defensive DVOA versus number 1 receivers. So I think it's a great spot. Samuel's going to get his. They're using Antonio Gibson more in the backfield there, which they should have. Great combination with him and Robinson. But I think Terry easily soars over this number. 4 or 5 grabs, I think, is enough. So love him. So nothing for the Bills game. Ain't want to leave you guys empty-handed. So love me some Terry this week.
Appreciate that, man. Like you said, number 1 receiver clearly performs better with Heineke. They have better synergy. I don't think anybody likes Carson Wentz. I mean, we don't like him on this show. So, I mean, I'm just glad that he's out of the picture, and they're giving Heineke the opportunity to do what he does. And also, listen, Heineke being the first guy off the bench lets me know that Sam Howell will probably never, ever start for them. KD decides to show up 20 minutes after we did the fucking Raiders game, but we gonna let him chill until the end of the show so he can give us his bets. He showed up late. First dude to respond in the group chat, though, right? I'm there, and then proceeded to just get hammered. The minute after he sent that text out, I'll be there, and then last one to show up. But
he thought he was gonna be before the activities after that text.
Saturday night,
we love our friends from Canada. We appreciate them. Also, check out our boy Finesse the Books. He got the Classroom Discord popping off with him and his crew. Make sure you guys are checking him out. And yeah, appreciate you as always, bro. Looking forward to from basketball season. I know that's where you really look to shine and push your expertise. So again, appreciate you. Have a wonderful Sunday.
Absolutely. Appreciate you guys. It was a pleasure. See you guys next week.
My man. So we're going to wait for our boy Matt to get his camera straight because we finally got our boy Matt on here, our boy Jude on here, so we could discuss the Chargers and the Atlanta Falcons. So we're going to wait for Sebastian's pops to get his.
And apologies to everybody. I hope you can hear me a lot clearer now.
You're in high def. You're good to go now. You're straight.
Hey. Yep. I found what the problem was pretty quickly. So we're good now. We are good.
Well, Matt's camera's not on yet. So Jude, you got to wait for the next segment, my boy, because we got our boy from the Foxborough Times himself, our boy El San Miguel, Michael Means. Everyone knows him. He's been on fire from a betting standpoint. If you guys aren't following him, he's the truth. He kind of low key on the internet. I don't know why his account hasn't blown up yet. The dude is sharp as fuck. He really, really gets it from a gambling standpoint. I'm just grateful that he's been a contributor on everything that we've done. And if you guys haven't fucked with him, then I really don't know. You don't have to have 30,000 followers to know how to beat the books. And that's the reason why we make shows like this, is so that we can actually highlight some of the talent in the gambling Twitter scene. Again, we all know him from the Foxborough Times. Our man, Michael Means Jr. Michael Means picks teams, the man himself. Appreciate you on this wonderful Sunday morning, waking up for us on the East Coast to be in tune with us. What it do, my guy? How are you today?
My guys, man. Pleasure, man. I'm a little under the weather. Didn't show up for Foxborough Times all week. So, this is my first work day in about a few days. But what's up, Doc? What's up, Sos? Appreciate you, man.
You already know.
Kindergartners are the ops, man. So I show up to help my mom. She's a teacher. I come back sick. Snagging those kids is the ops, for real.
Hey, man, you ain't lying. You ain't lying.
That's real. Yeah, we got but we got some action. Colts, Patriots. Come on, man. Like Patriot. No. Let me start with the Colts. Colts is like the biggest disappointment. Just personally, I thought Matt Ryan wasn't gonna go out like this. Like Matt Ryan ain't never got to go out like this, but he is going out like this. So them coming up to Foxborough, the spread is at a 5. There's value that I like in that first half, though. If you guys look, that first half spread is a -3, favoring the Patriots. The Colts are 0-4 on the road and covering first half spreads. 0-4. Now you add in Sam Ehlinger. This is a quarterback who hasn't seen Bill Belichick before. So go ahead and mark him down for 0-5 for first half spreads. I say that because, like I just said, he hasn't seen a Bill Belichick defense. We're obviously going to take away the major threat for the Colts, so I don't think Michael Pittman gets off like that today. And I think our running game, our defensive principles are bend but don't break. So it's possible we see the Colts get off in the running game, but nothing's going to happen in the red zone. That's the plan today. So I do like that first half, -3 for the Patriots. The -5 is a tricky number. I do think we win this game, but being that Mac Jones is our quarterback, I'm not ready to put -5 on him. That lets you know how I feel about Mac Jones. Also, the play that's been hitting, no lie, 10 weeks straight, Mac Jones to throw a pick, is still not that juiced. You can get it at a -120. Last week, you got it at a -110. But before that, that was plus money. Vegas was slipping. So right now, we can still get them at a -120, which I like. I do like Mac Jones to throw a pick. I do like that first half. If we had Zappy or Tom Brady in, I'd go ahead and go to -5. Mac Jones, I'm not ready to do him like that, though. And that's all I have.
Yeah, I like your name too, because yes, Zappy definitely better than Jones, but they're going with Jones. Now, the one thing I do like from this game is Jacoby Myers, and it doesn't really matter who they put out there. Myers, it's just targets. In his 3 full healthy games, Myers averages 10.3 targets on a 31% share, and has the 14th most expected PPR fantasy points per game. Where I go with this one is he's going to match up today primarily against Colts cornerback Kenny Moore. Kenny Moore ranks 97th in PFF coverage grade out of 106 qualifying QBs. Multiple wide receivers have taken him for 75. A few have taken him for 100. Right now, Myers' standard line for catches is 4.5 at -155 on DraftKings. I would even go a step higher. I would go 6+. I would even ladder it up to 7+. I think that he probably sees 10+ targets today on those little short curls, little short crossing routes. It's what he specializes in. If you don't mind paying the juice, which I don't pay -155 for an NFL prop, but if you want to, I think the over 4.5 receptions is a pretty easy bet today.
I love that myself. Again, make sure y'all check out my boy Miguel, San Miguel, Michael Means, Picks Team. Tell the people your ad, spell it out for them. Again, if y'all aren't following him, you don't like money. He's been
at Miguel Means Jr. on Twitter. I just went over 1,500 on TikTok. So if you're over there following me, I break down San Miguel Sundays over there. YouTube, we got Winner Circle Discord. Really kind of caught fire the last 3 weeks. I appreciate all the support.
I've been watching.
Appreciate the support.
I've been paying attention. Yeah.
No, man, it's real cool. I had a exec hit me in my DMs and said I'm not professional enough on camera.
You know what you tell them?
Believe that?
You know what you tell them? You know what you tell them there? Tell them to eat a dick. You think I
there you go. All right.
What you think?
Let me note that.
Yeah, write it down.
Yeah. All right, cool.
Yeah, tell them Jaguars. If they got a problem, tell them Sosa said the same thing.
I'll do that.
Yeah, like,
And I'm gonna take care of this cold and get better. But nothing but love for y'all, man. Love y'all.
Appreciate you joining us, man. The time out of your
Got it.
day and to show up, that's more important. Appreciate you as always. And yeah, check out my boy Mike Means from the motherfucking Foxborough Times. Peace. All right, Spin. We waiting for Jude to turn his camera back on. My man turned his camera off. Oh, look, he got the camera back on. Listen, Atlanta versus the Golden Boy in Los Angeles, Justin Herbert. Listen, I've been on record saying some egregious fucked up shit about Justin Herbert. I'm also on record saying some real positive stuff about him from the talent that he's shown. I ain't even going to get into it. I think this is going to be a much more competitive game than people give credit for, give these teams credit for. I'm going to just bring them both in. Our boy Sebastian's dad, a.k.a. Matt, the only Atlanta fan that we've ever had that is objective and fair in regards to his team. And our boy Jude, who's a Patriots fan, but he's also like a descendant of the Herbert family. So we bring him on. I'm just playing. I didn't mean that. I just know he's a fan of the guy. So our boy Matt, our boy Jude, what's cracking with y'all this morning? How y'all feeling? You're on mute. Jude.
That Herbert comment was nasty. I'll fight you later.
I know y'all cousins or something. Somewhere along the way.
What's good, fellas?
Not too much, man. Since you didn't join us last week, tell us, Jude, what are your thoughts on this matchup? What do you like? What are your takeaways? Then we'll go to the NFC South leading Atlanta Falcons correspondent. I make sure I say that out loud because I know this guy is not happy when I say it like that because it's gotta hurt with the GOAT as your quarterback in last place. But Jude, what's up, Mike?
Actually, we'll get to that in a second. What hurts is watching how my team's playing football. I don't worry about other teams. I worry about my own. But we'll get to how dog shit we've been in just a second. Go ahead, Matt.
For sure. Go ahead, Jude. My bad.
Yeah. This is going to be an interesting matchup. Everybody's hurt. Keenan Allen is out. Mike Williams is out. Donald Parham is out. I think Vegas pretty much is very, very much aware of all of the injuries on both sides. I believe AJ Terrell is out for the Falcons. There really ain't a lot going on in this game in terms of like bets and like plus money. The only plus money I saw, which looks like a pretty solid bet, is the over on receptions for Austin Eckler. I think it's over 6.5. He had, I believe, 10 catches last week and 12 like the week before that. It's become very clear on film, like the person that Herbert trusts them most in that offense in terms of like throwing them the football is Austin Eckler. So definitely you want to hit that. Pretty much everything is like a minus when it comes to like rushing because it's very clear that everybody knows that Chargers defense loves to give up big rushing plays. You might see a situation where maybe they might not get a whole bunch of yards on all of the carries, but then they'll just bust like one big one. We know the Falcons are really good at forcing you to be disciplined in your run fits. Chargers haven't really been disciplined in their run fits. It's going to get ugly. I love like an anytime touchdown for Cordero Patterson, who should be back this week. Arthur Smith is him when it comes to putting like together like packages to make him as useful as possible. There really ain't much else in this game, guys. Take the Falcons to cover for sure. I'm not going to tell anyone to bet it, but I'm actually inclined to think that the Falcons actually pull this one out. Sosa disagrees with me, but I actually do believe that the Falcons can and will pull this one out because I really feel like these Chargers are kind of like circling the drain in a lot of ways.
What do you think they're gearing up to get a guy who used to coach in New Orleans or something?
Looks like it to me. It looks like it to me. I literally, if for people who don't know, I literally tell Sosa I want to fight him every week because I'm covering this team and the offensive play design frustrates the fuck out of me.
The truth is,
it makes me upset.
You don't really want to admit that I'm right, but it's okay. We appreciate you either way. We're gonna let our boy Matt tell us why Atlanta may lose this one?
The reason why we might lose this game is just because we have janitors and PE gym teachers playing in the defensive, backfield. And listen, we can all fly down to Atlanta right now and play for the Chargers and probably get some yards and probably get a nice little bonus. We'll get a nice little contract, 1-game contract. Because listen, any no-name wide receiver, any no-name running back is going to get some type of contract or get some type of points against this Falcons defense, just kind of how it is right now. But the one thing that does stick out to me that could be a reason why we win is the Chargers are down to their third-string kicker. And in a game where it comes down to, maybe a missed field goal, missed extra point, right now it's leaning towards maybe Atlanta pulling this one out. I think it's going to be tighter than it actually is. I like Gerald Everett. I like a couple of players in this game. I have Austin Eckler going over 112 reception and receiving yards together. That's just going to be their main focus. So as far as the running back by committee, I think they're going to let Cordell Patterson they're going to ease him back in. I mean, he's been out for a couple of weeks. Not only that, but we got a game this Thursday. We play Carolina Thursday. So we need to be as healthy as possible. It's going to be a slow-paced game. Another thing that I'm leaning towards, and I know this is a little juice, but Marcus Mariota pass attempts. I think it's going to be – I think they have it at like 23.5. I think he's going to go well below. The only reason why he had that many last week is because – it was the Carolina game and everything like that. But if this game is supposed to play out the way it should, it's just going to be we're going to pound the ball because the Chargers' run defense is just not good. That's just what it comes down to. That's my kind of plays for the game. I don't even know who the receivers are for the Chargers, but I mean, sprinkle a little bit on anytime touchdowns for even like their third string wide receiver or their third string tight end, because there's always one of those guys that winds up catching a touchdown. And it's like, oh yeah, I just won some money and I didn't even have to do anything this game.
That's good. That's a good point. Listen, I think that the Chargers find a way. Better quarterback. As much as I love and respect Arthur Smith, I don't know if Arthur expected his team. I think he expected his team to fight. I didn't think he expected them to fight the way they are. I think that this was supposed to be a developmental year for the Atlanta Falcons, given the fact that they went and got, a guy that he was familiar with who was a backup for Carr, and they drafted Desmond Ridder. I think that at the end of the day, the most important part of the whole equation for them is the coach. I think that he puts his team in very, very positive situations. And I think that Atlanta competes till the very end. I do believe that this is a Charger spot, though. I think that the Chargers win a close one at the end. If Justin Herbert doesn't perform well today, then we're gonna have to start re-examining some of those tags that you guys have put on him unfairly, in my opinion. So, Spin, you got anything? And then we'll let Jude finish it off, and then
the Eckler prop for absolutely certain. I would take anything with receptions for him. He's from the backfield. He's averaging 8.7 targets and has reached double digits in 3 of his 7 games. That is absolutely insane for a running back. So huge usage here. When it comes to a DFS spot, I don't think you can play a cash game without having Eckler. He's kind of like Derrick Henry last week. He's going to get so much volume, and the Falcons defense has been so decimated by injuries that it just makes so much sense with all the injuries that the Chargers have as well. So I would look at all props, Austin Eckler. I would start Austin Eckler in every DFS lineup that you have. I don't care about his ownership. This is one where I think if you're playing in a tournament, I don't know if the winning lineup is one that does not have him in it. That's my main look for this game.
Love it. Jude, bring us home. And Matt, again, if you have your bets, if you have anything else you wanted to add, you feel free to. But Jude, go ahead.
Yeah. I saw some stuff in the chat. Like again, I echo exact what's been said. I love the volume that Austin Eckler is going to see today. I think he's the most trusted pass catcher in that offense for Justin Herbert. So Justin Herbert's going to be looking for him a lot in this game. I definitely do like the anytime touchdown for Cordero Patterson. That's definitely something that's going to like it for me. We'll see where this game goes. I think I wish there were some run props that I could give you guys, but all of them, we all know the Falcons gonna be able to run that football against the Chargers. That's just a given. So we'll see where it goes. I would say sprinkle 2 touchdowns for Austin Eckler. That is definitely a real possibility for sure, given the way that Atlanta Falcons defense has been playing. That's about it for me.
My man, appreciate you as always. Make sure you guys are tapped in with Jude Supreme Prime. Check him out on Twitter. He does all the Patriot spaces, hence his hat. He just, we knew he
with that team.
we knew he could contribute from a football knowledge side. That's why we gave him the Chargers, not because of anything that has to do with Justin Herbert. Appreciate you as always, dude. Matt, anything you want to add before we get out of here?
Yeah, so the 2 things that stick out to me, Khalil Mack and Derwin James for the Chargers. Derwin James and Kyle Pitts. That's going to be what I'm focused on, just on a football standpoint. I would like to see how Kyle Pitts does against Derwin James. I think Derwin James is one of the most athletic freaks in the NFL. I don't know if Kyle Pitts is going to get much of a usage because of that. I think they're going to try to stay away from him for the most part. But as far as some other plays from other games, I actually took P.J. Walker, no interceptions against Cincinnati. I know Cincinnati is banged up right now. That's sitting at plus 124. Deion Jackson, I know they're playing the Patriots, but I think the Patriots are going to give him some underneath stuff. I got it at plus 100 for over 21.5 receiving yards. Who else right now they're throwing to over in Indy as far as underneath stuff? That's kind of what I'm looking at. And I sprinkled a little bit on the Detroit Lions beating Green Bay. That's probably the most thing I have going on right now, just because this is the 3rd straight road game for Green Bay. And usually historically NFL teams on their 3rd straight road game usually do not play well, but I think it's going to be a high scoring game. So those are my 3 plays I'm looking at today.
My man, appreciate you as always. Make sure you guys are checking out our boy Matt at Sebastian's Dad 19 and Jude Wednesday nights, Patriots Nation. This is for you. Appreciate y'all. All right. Okay. So I'm looking at the games we got left, and I guess we might as well just get to it with you. Let's just get it out the way before we bring Chuck on.
Goody.
Before we bring Chuck on, I'm gonna let you say your listen. I'm gonna let you give the PSA for your team, and let you explain to the general public why Tom Brady sucks right now. I'm gonna get off the screen and I'm gonna just the Rams Bucks brought to you by Spin Doc Sports.
All right, so. To say it's been a frustrating season would be a gross understatement. Probably the best way that I can put it for being a Bucs fan and being just watching this team right now is stop beating your fucking selves. So many bad penalties, so many 3rd down penalties. Can't get off the field on 3rd down. I could go on and on and on and on. And, I saw Tim Halder say, we're probably still going to win the South and get a home playoff game. I still believe that at the moment, but not if we keep fucking around like this. We don't have many more games, even in our own division, to lose. But this has been a combination of a few things. Number one is with Kappa leaving and a few other pieces that we lost on the offensive line, the replacements that we brought in just are not gelling right now. So offense looks out of sync because the blocking looks out of sync, which means that teams are getting some quick, easy pressure on Brady. Obviously, with his age, and he's never a mobile quarterback anyway, makes it really tough to set up a lot of the deep routes that we can get, basically anything beyond 10 or 15 yards. On the defensive end, I don't even recognize our defense 50 to 65% plus of the time or more. It doesn't look like a Todd Bowles defense. A Todd Bowles defense is aggressive, exotic blitzes from all over the place, confusing the hell out of people. We're playing so vanilla with our front four. We try to stunt way too much, which leaves the flats open, especially when we're playing backs like Kamara or guys that can catch the ball out in space and go. So there's, I keep hearing from one Buck place in Tampa about, we just got to figure it out. We just got to figure it out. Well, you're 3-5, so time to figure it out. This is a Rams team that is reeling as well. They've had some internal turmoil with Cam Akers, although I know he's going to be active today. But anyways, for me, for this game, I personally, I'm never going to pick the Bucks to lose, but I don't know how much confidence I have in this team right now to bet on them in most any capacity. So a few things that I do like in this game, though, is I do like the all props or most of the props for Chris Godwin. So Godwin hasn't scored this season, but he's seen double-digit targets in 3 straight games and in 4 of the last 5. So the Rams play a lot of zone-heavy pass defense, and Godwin against zone coverage has 31% of the Bucs targets, which is the second highest mark in the entire NFL, just behind Tyreek Hill. So with our run game and our offensive line run blocking stuck in complete neutral, I would expect Brady to throw 35-plus times per game. So this would be a really, really good spot for anything Chris Godwin. I would even go so far as to say it's a good bet he gets his first touchdown today. So anyways, for the game itself, I'm unofficially picking the Bucs, but I'm just going to watch it as a fan. And
sure?
I am praying, let me put it this way. I'm praying that we don't beat ourselves, because and also from a motivation standpoint, if they needed any more motivation, this is a team that ended your season last year, ended your Super Bowl repeat quest in the same stadium that it's at today. So if you can't get up for this game, you may as well go the fuck home.
Todd Bowles was too fucking dumb. He did some idiotic shit bringing Mike Edwards down into the box last year that fucked y'all. But different conversation, different day. I think Brady gets it done today. That's my thoughts. Also, if you ever thought I was gonna say something positive about the Rams, are you dumb? Please cut it out. But yeah, you're not gonna hear me say anything positive about this game. I think it goes over, though. I think both teams just give up points and
I would go with that too.
It's a last second type of situation where one team has to win on the last possession of the game. I think both teams are susceptible defensively. A lot of injuries in the back end for the Bucs. The Bucs just haven't been healthy on both sides of the ball all year. That's the biggest issue. I'm not here to give them any excuses, but to go back to Tom Brady's days in New England, your best ability is availability, and they just have not had the horses available to them that they've had in the last 2 seasons. They just do not. So enough excuses for the Tampa Bay Bucs. From my standpoint, it's been terrible how they performed. I don't give a fuck about the injuries. We just told the whole injury situation thing. Still should be better.
Yeah, and I think that if we weren't beating ourselves each game with all the stupid penalties and all the third downs that and missed tackles and just sloppy shit. Even if we were 3-5 because of all the injuries and not doing those other things, I would be okay with it. I really would, because yes, I've always been on this show and elsewhere. I've said over and over again that, casual sports fans think that the NFL is just, the whole next man up. It's like, hey, Shaq Barrett tears his Achilles and just next man up, go out there and be Shaq Barrett. That's not the way it works. The next guy isn't fucking close to Shaq Barrett, because then he'd be starting somewhere. So that's not the way it works. Now, but from my perspective, what I get the most frustrated about is that we're beating ourselves. So like I said, if we weren't doing that, had all the injuries and still managed to be 3-5 at this point, I would shrug my shoulders and say, okay. However, the frustrating part is knowing how few games or seasons or games that this group has left together. before we're going to blow it up and rebuild again. And like time is running super short. So that's what frustrates me the most is when we beat ourselves in those situations.
Yes, sir. And only 2 games we haven't touched on thus far for today. I didn't really want to talk about it because obviously like my team is on a bye. Before we bring on Chuck and before we bring on Chuck and let KD give his plays at the very end, any thoughts on Arizona, Seattle? I mean, obviously for me, I'm very, very surprised by what we've seen from Geno Smith. He's been lights out. He's played and performed at an extremely high level that I don't think a lot of people anticipated. While I don't trust Seattle's defense, I do give people their flowers when they deserve it. And Geno Smith has been absolutely amazing through 8 weeks of an NFL season. No one had that on their bingo card. If you say you did, outside of one person that I do know, Big Nay on Twitter, big Seattle Seahawks fan, she told us that Geno would be the guy in Seattle and he would perform well. So one thing I will always do is give people the credit for when they say something or they're right. I did not see it coming. I did not think that this was that we were going to see this. However, the talent is clearly there. He has performed at an extremely high level from the pocket, which again, shout out Geno Smith. As far as this game goes, I think I like the game to go over. I think both defenses are mid. I do not believe in Arizona's defense, even though the back end has performed pretty well. They've been able to turn teams over. Also don't trust their quarterback. I think that the number one thing that you're going to look at from an Arizona standpoint will be DeAndre Hopkins' stats because he's just one of those guys that regardless of who the quarterback is, he's going to get his numbers. So if you want to play him up to 100 yards, you want to play his receptions, I love that play. You want to take Kyler to score a rushing touchdown, it's always worth the sprinkle. I hope the game ends in a tie. That's my analysis and full take for this particular matchup. I don't know what you like from a DFS standpoint or just a betting standpoint,
yeah.
But that's all. I like the over for sure in this one.
Yeah, from Arizona's passing game, I'm going to go to the other side of it. The other side, and I'm
you goddamn right, bro.
I'm going to say Rondale Moore. Moore struggled the start of the season for 2 reasons. Number one is he was hurt. And number 2 is that they had him playing out wide. Since moving back into the slot, his yards per game, targets per game, ADOT, everything has almost, like all of those have almost doubled. Last week, he ran 61% of the snaps in the slot and had 92 yards and a touchdown against the Vikings. And he also went for 49 yards on 6 catches with 10 targets against the Seahawks back in week 6. His line right now sits at 42.5 yards at -105 on DraftKings. That's an easy over for me. I wouldn't even be opposed to taking like a 60+ alt line on this one because I think that he matches up exceptionally well with anybody that Seattle's going to throw out there in the slot. And while DeAndre Hopkins is drawing all that attention, and while Kyler is drawing all that attention with his legs, Moore is just so lethal in the slot. So I like pretty much everything Rondale Moore for this game.
Hey, listen, and Rondale's been one of those guys. The only thing that stopped him throughout his NFL career and college career are injuries. We are fully aware of his explosiveness. Prior to his final year at Purdue, he was a projected top 10 pick, slipped to the second round because of durability issues. If you know, you know. Only one more game left that we haven't really touched on, right? That's KC versus Tennessee. I'm gonna give the Tennessee side. They don't have a fucking chance if Ryan Tannehill's not the starting quarterback today. I love Malik Willis, but first off, if you want to talk about this game, I just need you to go out there and Google Andy Reid after a bye. Probably get all the answers you want in regards to where I think this game is going. Backup rookie quarterback starting. This ain't the Houston Texans, though. So, I mean, although I think, Henry can perform well, I mean, it's going to be it's a tough ask for any rookie quarterback, much less a guy who I don't think if you actually know football, you expected to really see him play in any large, expansive capacity this season. I think everybody thought of Malik Willis, as as a project player who was given a year to just basically watch Tannehill and try to develop him from a football IQ standpoint and a quarterback play standpoint, because all the physical tools are there, but asking him to go out there and be a major contributor on a team to try and win is just a tough ask right now, in my opinion. But we're going to bring in our guy. Good luck, Chuck. No longer bad luck, Chuck, because his team's won a championship and all that good shit. Key contributor on Kingdom Cast with a K. Make sure you guys are locked in with my guy. Chuck, what's up, my boy? How are you today? How you feeling?
I'm great, fellas. I'm great, man.
Bye week gets you right, huh?
Yeah, man. So back at it after a bye week. Gave out some bangers in sports profit space. That went well. Speaking of Malik Willis, I gave out Liberty in that space. The went outright money line. So that was a banger. So yeah, man, I'm ready to get back to it this week. So
well, yeah, let's get to it, man. Like I said, I know this is a game that I think has a lot of betting upside for a lot of different guys. But the problem is keying in on who is the guy is the difficult part, right? So that's why we brought you here. What do you like? What do you think? What do you see?
Yeah, there definitely are some guys in here that you can definitely take a shot on. I know one of the big target points going into this week is Kadarius Toney. We just acquired him in a trade. We had some time during the bye week to get him acclimated with the offense a bit. I'm sure Andy Reid's going to have like a few packages for him tonight. And, he'll integrate him in some type of way, but I don't expect anything too crazy because, this is the first time he's been in this offense. Even though he kind of got a head start because Mike Kafka is the offense coordinator in New York. So I'm pretty sure he's kind of familiar with some of that terminology that we have here too. So there's that. But the key to this game is, man, we gotta take advantage of some runs through the A gaps, man. We gotta be able to control Jeffrey Simmons if Jeffrey Simmons is gonna play tonight. I know he's listed as questionable, but I expect him to be out there tonight, man. Especially with all that talking he did on the radio shows this week. So he's got to be out there for sure. I really like Isaiah Pacheco. If we can really control that middle, man. Tooney and Humphrey, whether it's Tooney and Humphrey or whether it's Humphrey and Smith, they really got to do their job tonight. And Pop is the type of guy that can get through the A gap for sure. He's just a more explosive runner than Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Whether we do the split zone or whether we do the GT counter, those are going to have to be our two most effective runs tonight. And if we do that, that should open up in the pass game. And speaking of the pass game, I think the Titans secondary, I don't think they can handle the post routes or the post corner routes. I think you can find some holes in a defense in that from that aspect. And Juju Smith-Schuster, he's been on a heater in this past couple of weeks, and I think he can continue to perform tonight. Whether he runs the post, whether he runs the post corner, or hell, we could use McCole for that too. So there's some things that can open up for us, man. We just gotta be able to establish the running game first, so Patrick can have that time in the pocket to go to work. And like also in this matchup as well, like Travis Kelce, he's been pretty solid in this matchup too. So I mean, everybody expects him to score. Like when he's under the bright lights at prime time, I mean, his touchdown's gonna be automatic. So with that being said, man, before I go ahead and get to the plays, you mentioned Malik Willis. Yeah, he is raw. It's going to take a little bit for him to get everything acclimated. But I'm kind of concerned, with him being in the system with Mike Vrabel. You know what I mean? I just hope it doesn't turn into a Vince Young situation with him. But he does have ability, and he can make plays with his feet. So that has been kind of an issue for us, but in this spot, I mean, we should be all right. So let me go and get to the plays, man. This is what I got. This is what I got for DK Sportsbook. Travis Kelce, Derrick Henry, lock those in for anytime touchdowns. I mean, Kelce's at minus 135. Derrick Henry's at minus 115. Just put those in your ticket, you'll cash. So long shots. Malik Willis, he got pretty close last week in that Houston, Texas game. He got stopped at the 1 yard line, and you already know they're going to use him at Derrick Henry in the backfield on those little zone read.
Who you telling, dog? That was my one play in the fucking game. Was him to get a touchdown. He got stopped at the one. That was the one play I had.
Yeah. So yeah, right now it's at plus 400 on DK Sportsbook. So
you're gonna get one tonight.
Yeah. So yeah, you can definitely put that one in. The others I got, Juju Smith-Schuster, I mentioned him. I like his yardage today. It's at 54.5 at -115. So I like that. His anytime touchdowns at +150. I like that. And then Bobby Trees, man. I know Malik Willis only threw the ball 11 times last week, but the game plan was to keep running down Houston's throat because Houston's run defense is trash. So yeah, why not keep running the football against them? So that's why Malik Willis didn't do much passing last week. But I think we'll have a little more opportunity tonight. I think Bobby Trees can clear this 36.5 at -115. And as far as the FanDuel Sportsbook, I got the FanDuel Sportsbook because some of these guys I like they had a little better odds on this. I know Kadarius Toney, he's been getting a little popular as far as anytime touchdown. The value was there earlier in the week, but it's kind of gone down some. You know what I mean? But it's still at plus money. I mean, it's at plus 460. Whether you think he'll get a touchdown on a jet sweep or a shovel pass in the red zone. So that's not a bad look there. And also, my last play is Pop, man. I mentioned Pop earlier. His rushing yards is at 33.5. It's at -110 on FanDuel Sportsbook. I like that. I think we can control Jeffrey Simmons just enough for him to clear those yards. So that's what I got. Patrick Mahomes, I wasn't really confident in his props, man. Just because, like, this matchup in the past, like, here's the thing, people. We haven't beat this team at home since 2012 in the regular season. This matchup has been an issue for us in the past 6 games or so. Like, you can go all the way back to Chris Johnson and Lindell White, both going for 100 yards on us. But with that being said, man, I do agree that we should win this game. I'm just not confident to play that -12.5, man. It's just too many points, just based on the historical factor in this matchup, even though Andy Reid is coming off of a bye. So
it's a lot. I'm not gonna lie. I laid the points. I'm not gonna lie to you. I laid the points. I like Malik, but we all know what Spag gonna do. He gonna say Malik gonna have to show me, and
yeah,
whether if it's 9 people in the box, he gonna do it. It's gonna be, listen, Malik, you gonna have to show me. That's all. And the thing is that I would give Tennessee a fighting chance if it wasn't off a bye. I mean, you gave Andy Reid and Spagnuolo 2 fucking weeks to game plan for what they're gonna see. It's just everything just screams smash spot for the Kansas City Chiefs in this one. Before we roll, though, I gotta let my boy KD, aka Mr. Parlay. Where you at, dog? Where you at? We waiting for you. You know what I'm saying? Pop back on the camera. You feel me? We're gonna let you get your plays off for Oakland. I always say Oakland because I like to think of the Raiders back when they were in Oakland and fought and showed some heart and weren't a bunch of bitches. But let's let my boy in, Mr. Parlay, aka KD 2 times. What's the deal, my boy?
Yeah, my bad, bro. I did answer in the group chat early. And I just didn't set I even came home early. I came home like 1, but I didn't even stay out that late. I just set my alarm. I didn't even get rowdy last night. That's the crazy part about it. You know what I mean? I wish I could tell you that shit got lit, but I was 1 by 1. I was a good boy.
So yeah, are y'all gonna bounce back today, dog? What you got for me today? Talk to us.
I'm pretty sure you guys already, touched on the game earlier there with Goose, but so I'm not gonna down to it. But I mean, we dropped a goose egg last week. I mean, I can't tell you last time. I don't know who's the last team to put up, professional football team to put up 0 points, but yeah, I definitely see a bounce back. I'm not gonna touch on the game itself. I mean, as a fan of the Raiders, I'll give you. I'm gonna back them, but I just have a few props that I do personally like that I'm just gonna give to you guys here. So I like Trevor Lawrence on the Russian 12.5 over. So I like that. There's another one. I like Devontae on the receptions at 6.5 plus 105. Also I like Evan Ingram on the receptions, 3.5 over, -135. So those are the 3 that I really like, and I also like Trevor Lawrence on the passing yards at 242. I think it went up to 243 now, but I like him on that. So like those are the 4 that like I'll be personally playing. And I mean, yeah, I mean, what did you guys like talk about before there with Goose? So I don't want to like be repetitive. I can add some stuff, you know.
To be totally honest, we didn't really touch too much on you guys, man. Like I gave my take. Obviously, you guys have fucking burnt me 3 times in a row. I've bet on you 3 times.
Me, I got burnt last week.
Yeah, so I'm not betting on you guys. I mean, I might take like a small bet on like Josh Jacobs to get in the end zone. And I honestly believe that you guys come out here and show a level of fight today. Personally, because
not no choice.
The travel situation last week was a little weird. Y'all staying on the East Coast and not traveling back west. I think that works to your advantage. I mean, you guys been in Florida all week. I mean, that could be a good or bad thing. It could be like a good or bad thing. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like they were in Florida for a week. Like, okay, maybe, who knows? But again, I talked about this earlier. Win or lose, you guys are going to fall back on Carr. I mean, McDaniels is going to fall on the sword and either get fired after 1 year or figure out something where he gives you guys enough hope to keep him next year. But I'll be honest with you, McDaniels has dropped the ball, and I think that the fight. Here's why: the fight that you guys showed last year with an interim head coach and all the negative stuff. Yeah. You don't see that this year. It's like you guys aren't motivated. Darren Waller doesn't seem like he gives a fuck about football.
And he just got paid too, and that's my guy. I don't want to say anything, you know.
And I think that's part of the coach. I mean, I think,
and he's not going to play today either.
I don't think
today too.
I don't think he'd be like this if Bisaccia was the head coach. I think they really fuck with him. I don't think anybody fucks with McDaniels. I don't even think the owner fucks with him anymore. And I think it's showing throughout the organization. I mean, I could be wrong, but there's no way that I think Mark Davis can look at the job that McDaniels has done and then look at the last 10 weeks of last year and say he's a better football coach than Rick Bisaccia.
No, that's
can't even say that.
And he had less too. Bisaccia had way less than what he
no Henry Ruggs, no nothing. And they figured out a way. They rallied around him. They showed fight. They showed that they had a dog mentality and went out there and played hard for they don't play hard for him. They don't play hard for McDaniels. And that's part of the motivation. He's a bitch ass motherfucker. He can't motivate me to do shit. He couldn't motivate a morbidly obese Mexican to eat a taco. But that's a different conversation for another day. I hear him talk, and he's absolutely uninspiring. There's nothing inspiring about Josh McDaniels when he speaks. Nothing at all.
I hear you on that. I agree, but I'm just like, if you step back and just look back, and it's like, so what? Like, you get rid of him after a year, then you'll get another coach, get another OC or whatever OC. You know, like, I'm not like, you know, I back Derek Carr when I can, and after I'll talk my shit on him. Like, you know, I see what's on the field, you know, and all that shit. But like, it's like, well, what do you do? Like, you give it another year, another chance. Like, I personally, I think you would have to, but I would be like, if we lose today, like, there's gonna be some big changes in the offseason. I think more so player wise than coach wise. Because Davis gonna look like a fool if you brought in this guy just to get him out a year after.
I would agree with you, right? But the players are paid long term. A lot easier to get rid of a coach.
Nah, fact.
You just extended Waller. You gave Devontae Adams a monster contract. You extended Carr.
And I think we paid Renfro.
And you paid Renfro. And the thing is that Josh Jacobs about to have a career season. What are you gonna let him out the building for free? You got to pay him too.
Nah, I hear you. I hear that.
Players,
so I don't know.
Players get a longer leash than any coach, bro. Players are gonna get a longer leash than a first-year head coach. That's why when I say like it's gonna fall back on McDaniels, it is because everybody else is paid long term, and you're always gonna pick the players over a first-year coach. That's always how it's gonna be. Unless that first-year coach is Andy Reid.
I hear you, but I'm just saying,
unless he won a Super Bowl as a head coach before, you're here to win. Like there's no excuse.
I don't know who they would get in terms of replacing him, but if Davis could somehow sway Sean Payton, I'd be cool with that.
Oh, well, could he sway him? It's called a check. Can he write a big enough check? Is the question. Will he write a big? He wrote
that check for Gruden. He gave Gruden all that money, so I think
the whole 10 years.
You know, he could give fucking Sean Payton that. And, you know, he's very offensive minded. I feel that would be best for like a Derek Carr situation. But I'm already here with Derek Carr. Like I could move on, bro. I could just move on.
We're right on time also. Appreciate everyone that joined us, everyone that tuned in. We did wonderful numbers on this episode. Again,
real quick though, before we get out of here, I just want to follow up on your point in regards to my game. Spags, yeah, I agree with you because the Titans, they are dead last in pass protection right now, the offensive line. So there is that. And about you taking the points with the Chiefs, the Tennessee Titans were in this spot earlier this year on primetime against the Bills on Monday night, and they got smoked. So, hey, who knows?
And that was with Tannehill.
Yep, that was. So all right,
it goes back to what Spin said, whether it's your defensive tackle or defensive end. There's a reason why someone's at the top of the depth chart, okay? And it ain't because it's because, one, they make all the money because they should be at the top of the depth chart. And there's a huge level of talent disparity from 1 to 2 when a guy's making $20 million fucking dollars. That's just how it is. The nigga's making $20 million because he's one of them guys. And when you take one of them guys off the fucking field, this is what you get. This is how it's going to go.
Yeah, I will just reiterate the phrase "next man up" when it's said, expecting that the second, third, fourth string guy is just going to step up and give you the same production as the starter is the dumbest fucking take in all of sports. It's one thing to say next man up and, hey, we're going to rally around this guy and we're going to support him and but to have those same expectations is just ridiculous.
Grow up, Peter Pan.
I just want to add one thing for Chuck's game. Tony anytime TD.
He already played that. He was on it. He's on it because he already.
Okay.
We all know how Andy Reid is, bro. He don't go get the Ferrari to sit it in the showroom. He go get the Ferrari to fucking drive it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm gonna play that shit right now.
He's not a collector. All right. He gonna actually use the shit that he buy. You know what I mean? He gonna actually, you know what I'm saying? You know how it's some weirdos that got grailed sneakers like me? That you never that, you know what I'm saying? I actually put my shit on too, but you know what I'm saying? Like, there's a bunch of boxes that have not been open for 10 years. Who are you to judge? Right? So let's get out of here. Sunday morning quarterbacks, week 9. Hopefully we cash every single bet. If you're tuned in from Australia or Delaware, we appreciate you because we definitely got people who tune in from Delaware and we definitely got people who tune in from Australia. So again, appreciate y'all. Spin, Chuck, KD, best of luck to your teams. I'm on bye this week.
Enjoy the game. There you go. Enjoy, dog. No stress.
You already know. Again, that's one time for Daily Bread Media. Me and Rex will be back tomorrow for Daily Bread. We have a full Monday night football preview. Our boy Roddy is going to join us. Maybe he'll be wearing that mask. Although it's been bad luck. I think they lost both times he wore that shit. But yeah, nonetheless, like the video, subscribe, check out everyone that's been on our show today. They all have given up time and resources to make sure they deliver the best information for you for football Sunday. And also, please be sure to keep our good friend and co-host Rex in your prayers. He's dealing with a very, very rough emotional day. 2 Philly teams being eliminated. Again, don't ever at me and think that I'm a Philadelphia sports fan. I support the Sixers and the Sixers only. All them other sports teams, y'all on your own. Have a wonderful Sunday. Hope we all win. Bless. Peace.
Yeah.